Let's get to know Ozzy a little bit. Where are you from, buddy?
Man, I'm originally from Virginia, a place called Colonial Heights, Virginia. It's about 20 miles south of Richmond, Virginia. Yep.
And what was life like growing up? Were you a rock and roller?
You know what? I always was. My father played Iron Man for me the first time when I was like 11 or 12 maybe, and I was just like, I got to do that. I want to do that. You know, that's about the age, right?
Yeah. You start listening to your parents' albums.
And he took me to see Foreigner. That was my first concert ever in like 77.
And I want to say I apologize to everyone out there who has no idea who Foreigner is, but check them out and you'll like them.
Yeah.
They're one of the, what do you say, an earlier hair band? Or
I would say probably, yep.
Yeah, they're leading the way. Were you in bands growing up? What was it like down there in Florida?
Yeah, you know, it was cool when I was a kid in Virginia.
Virginia, sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. You're a get-lost loser.
Yeah.
I'm just joking. Yeah. In Virginia, when I grew up, okay, my grandmother, she was big into, like, children's theater and things. So she always had me singing and things. So that's kind of how I developed my voice or figured out what my range was. So I picked up drums first. I'm actually a drummer, too. And I played drums for a few years and dabbled here and there with the guitar. But I never really got a first band until I was about 18 or 19, a good band where we were playing out. And they were called Helicon. Yeah, Chaos and Helicon from my hometown. And the cool thing about that was we didn't know that bands had to – we thought we had to sit in a garage for 2 years and learn hundreds of songs before we could go play. We were sheltered in a garage because we practiced so much. And we did not realize that until we went and finally got a gig and played out, that these bands suck in Richmond, right? And they were repeating songs. So we came out with a blast, and it was really cool.
Yeah, they're playing like 15 songs, 2 7-song sets, and you're like, oh,
and
man.
we came out with 100 right after that. Everybody was like, you guys rock.
Name this tune. So music's always been a big part of your life. How'd you become a part of micro wrestling?
Man, you know what? It was really cool. Jack called me actually and booked Little Ozzy, my entire tribute band, for the big grand finale of your reality show series on Discovery, which will be Microfest.
Yep.
Which is going to be the last episode, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No spoilers, but the first episode's called Road to Microfest, so I think the secret's out.
Definitely the 12th episode.
Yeah. So he booked you for. I didn't even know that actually. That's news to me.
He booked me for Microfest, and I went to meet him in Jacksonville in March. Micro 2 was touring.
Yeah.
And I actually met Micro 2 and Jack, and I was like, I think I've reached the promised land. I was like, these are my people, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I called Jack, and I was like, dude, can I please come work for you, you know? And I can't remember the conversation exactly, but he threw out an offer, I threw out, and it just worked.
Yeah.
And it's been nothing but amazing, dude.
What are some of the favorite places you've been to in this last year or so?
I would say in the last year.
Yeah, it's been about a year, right? You've been on tour with the guys?
Yeah, I thought you said 3 years, something like that. Whoops. Like the real Aussie over here, just screwing up.
It's all good.
Anyways, my favorite places with you guys this past year would be definitely the Great Lakes up in Michigan. Oh, that was so much fun in Michigan. We had a blast. And all the Indiana's beautiful, dude.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
All I knew it was by Hoosiers, that movie with Gene Hackman.
Right, yeah.
And it's next to Illinois where I grew up. But you know what? Illinois or Indiana, and as well as Michigan, we've had some good times in Michigan this past year too.
Dude, but like Illinois and all, it's gorgeous too. All of it looks just like so much country. You would think down south. No.
Yeah. It's a beautiful place. Well, in my region we got the Starved Rock Park, and then there's a Shawnee Forest down there in Illinois. We tour around there. Yeah, we go all the way up through
Missouri. Yeah.
And then all the way up to Peoria, I think, somewhere up there.
Yeah.
Where we and coming up next, we're going to Kentucky. Right?
Looking for Lexington.
And then I think Indiana as well.
Illinois.
And then Micro 2 will be on the road in Florida doing events. We'll be doing a pay-per-view down there.
And we're coming to Texas. We got a lot to do.
A lot of Texas shows.
I'm excited about that.
If you live anywhere in Texas, Micro Wrestling will be coming to your neck of the woods. Like I know they do shows in San Antonio, Houston, even places like Adkins, and different spots. Always a lot of fun in Texas, big crowds. It's always a good time. Tonight we've got about, just under 1,000 people. I think we had some standing room in the back and stuff, which was cool.
Unbelievable.
Another great show here at the Greenville Convention Center. These guys are always great. This is Greenville, North Carolina, not South Carolina. I think North Carolina is better. I don't know about you if you've been to both, but here.
Definitely North Carolina. You know, today I was like, honey, this is not 5.5 hours. It's only 2 hours away. I had it in Greenville, South Carolina.
It's weird. And you know what? They have a convention center, too. It's very confusing for me.
Yeah.
But it's worked out well. Well, tonight we do apologize. Zach Presley was very ill this week. He's actually just starting to bounce back, so he's not terminal, as it were. But we were worried about him for quite a while. He is, so that's why we had to alter the card tonight. But we'll give him another chance to wrestle Jamaican Joe here very soon. And get back on track. We wish the best to Zach, who's probably watching right now in the hotel.
Yes.
Or sleeping. We wouldn't hate you if you were sleeping. You know, he's been kind of real quiet this week. We can tell Zach wasn't feeling well because he just didn't talk a lot, you know. So there's a lot of that going around. If you're at home sick, too, we want to send you our thoughts. From little Ozzy and Jason, camera guy. Yeah, is that how you do? Oh no, I don't.
Sharon Osbourne. Though.
Yeah, I'm sure she does. She does. She's on the cusp of all that stuff.
She does all that dumb crap.
All that. Yeah, you know what? Speaking of, I don't want to cause a controversy, but I hear about the little Ozzy clones.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about that?
Isn't it funny? You know what I found out? It was a joke.
Oh, thank goodness. There was a story out that said she had little people clones, or she was doing an animated thing.
Did you see my comments by any chance?
I didn't, but I know you were very serious about it, and you were very.
I was like, when I read it, I'm one of these that I will read it and go right into it and not think about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I went in there and I was like, come on, there's only one little Ozzy. Come on, give me some credit. You know that kind of feeling?
Yeah.
And then I thought about it, and then everybody's going, it was just a joke reel. It was a gag reel. And I'm like.
It was one of those January, April Fools, I guess. They were testing their April Fool. They were doing some tests in January to see if they'd work. But yeah, there's definitely only one little Ozzy. If you guys have never seen him before, I guess you saw him tonight if you joined us on time. He's amazing. It sounds just like him. And with the full band. And you guys don't know this, but your son is the guitar player in the band.
Yeah, and now he's my son-in-law.
And so, wait, what?
Explain that one, right? Okay.
So it was stepson. I didn't know this. What?
What happened was Johnny, the guitarist for Little Ozzy, was his mother and I grew up, and we've been friends for years. And then him and Mallory kind of got together they love each other. They've been 5 years. They've been going strong and stuff, right? So they decided they loved each other after me and Natasha got married. So we screwed it up for him.
Holy cow!
You know, but it's all legal. It's all good with the gods, right? But the only thing that's creepy is. The baby could look like our exes, right? So that'll be hard. It'll be hard to love them.
I didn't think about that, dude. That's great. But I tell you what, he does shred, man. He's
unbelievable.
You know, at Microfest, him and Chief Littlefoot went back and forth, and all of our faces were melted off.
Unreal.
And yeah, so the band to a T, you'll get that Ozzy sound, you'll get that Black Sabbath sound. It's so good. So definitely when we come to town, you know Ozzy's here with Micro One right now. You want to see the show, experience that if you're into that rock and roll music. We also got Ivar that performs in the crew.
Ivar is so awesome.
Then
he's my favorite.
Micro Jackson, who did a little number tonight and is about to go out again here in a little bit.
He is. Andy has his own song out. He's quite the songwriter. It's called Woo!
Yeah.
And it's on all platforms.
It's on all the streamers. It's got some visuals out, music video out for it on YouTube. You guys can find it. Micro Jackson. Google's going to try to tell you Michael Jackson, and you're saying no. I want Micro Jackson, Google. And then only have to type it a bunch. But yeah, he's on there. He's on my Spotify playlist. I love it. It comes on when I do work out. It's to Woo. Am I saying that right?
Woo. You know what? You are saying it right. And I was calling it Woo.
Oh.
Yeah, which is totally wrong, and they were all laughing at me, right?
Well, in California, they call it Whoa.
Well, I know. But the funny thing about his song is I know nothing. I'm a little older than these guys.
Yeah.
I know nothing about streaming. I know nothing about really iPhone. It's really crazy. But every time I reboot my iPhone and plug it into the phone, the damn song starts playing. His song. I can't get it off, so I play it through every day. So now I know all the words. But it's a great song.
Oh, yeah, we love it. It's definitely our summer jam.
We love Mike.
If you guys want to make a video with Woo, W-H-E-W, in it on Instagram, you can tag us and we'll share it in our story. We don't accept invite collaborations because we get a lot of them, and it's a little hairy and it's tough. But if you tag us, we'll post it as a story. We got tens of thousands of people watching our story every day. So we want to thank you guys for supporting Micro Violence. supporting little Ozzy.
Oh, thank you.
And Ivar and Micro Jackson, all of our talented people here. We got some new referees. Hot Lana's in the house.
Yep.
Also some new wrestlers. Little X just made her pay-per-view debut. We've got some Carolina Reapers in training right now.
She killed it on the first pay-per-view.
Little X, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We also have I'm Olivia, which is her working name right now. That's Hannah's sister. She's training. Nate the Gnome is in the microtorium.
He's one of my favorites.
Probably as we speak, he's probably. And every time you turn around, Nate the Gnome is just kind of there. You're like, hey. And then he's like, oh. You know, he's a magical gnome.
And Nihai.
And Nihai, who is a viral sensation. We met him. Jay Mazing made a video with him in a hotel room, put him through the ringer, made him do all this stuff, jump up and down, jumping jacks, and everybody's like, you better give that guy a job. And he is now at the Microtorium.
You met him on the road.
Yeah, met him on the road. Great guy. He's going on tour with Method Man and Redman and stuff like that, promoting hip-hop concerts and stuff and doing things at events. So he's also an entertainment professional, brings a lot to the table, as with all the micros. This is usually not someone's first job in entertainment. We do have some people that are very green, but usually you've got some stuff under your belt. You've worked in some entertainment, so you know what's going on a little bit as far as how to be a professional.
Yeah, definitely.
And then there's guys like Hot Rod that just never got that. They never had that sit, hey, man, don't be like this to your coworkers. And he makes it work, I guess. I don't know.
I guess, man, but I don't. I'm excited to watch the rest of the show.
Yeah, this is going to be an amazing micro rumble here. And, little show, I'll give him this, man. You know, he's not always liked by everyone, but he just defended his belt up until a certain point, and now he's going to defend it again against all the micros here. So that does take, a lot of
brass and a lot of practice. Yep. He's good.
Well, who do you like? I know we're not wrestling experts. I'm the camera guy. You're the stinger. You're the rock and roller. Mm-hmm. Who do you like in this? With all the micros in there, who do you think's going to walk away with the belt tonight?
Man, you know what? I'm going to say it. A Little Show.
You know, he's probably the betting favorite.
Yeah.
I hope that in my heart, Baby Jesus pulls it out because he has been screwed at every turn by Hot Rod in particular. Hot Rod got him on the first pay-per-view. Second pay-per-view, he tried to screw him over by trying to buy out Joe in the triple threat. And then you saw what just happened tonight. There's no excuse for that.
No.
Baby Jesus deserves to be champion. He is, in my opinion, the rightful GOAT, the greatest of all time. So
I know, right? Isn't he the older brother?
He's the younger one.
That's right. He's the younger one.
You know, this Little Show shaves his head, so I think it gives him some, takes some years off. But Baby Jesus has got the spaghetti hair coming out.
Yeah.
So, but it works for him. People love him.
It's going to be interesting to see. It really is. Yes.
And man,
who would you like to see take it?
You know who else has had a rough go is Jamaican Joe, and people love Jamaican Joe. I'd like to see him have not only the wins tonight, but have a run as champ.
I think he deserves it.
Yeah.
He's hard working, and man, that dude can flip.
Yeah, and he's so theatrical. Like every time he walks into a room, it's like a cloud of smoke and lights are going
off. Right?
You know? Yeah.
Yeah, like he's here.
Yeah, Joe has arrived.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would like to see Joe. And you know what? If we're talking about talent, is there anyone more talented than Hot Rod? Is there anyone more deserving in that aspect?
Man, he is very talented. He's unbelievable.
And then you got a guy like Disco Dom, who's single-handedly keeping disco music alive. I mean, that's got to count for something,
right? It does. And you know, Jason, what really blows my mind the most is when I saw these guys. I've seen a lot of micro wrestling out there, mini wrestling, whatever you want to call it. When I saw these guys for the first time, that's what blew my mind the most, was every single one of them are on their own. They've got their own thing, and they're incredible athletes.
Yeah, man, they really are. When I first saw the show back in, I think it was 2017, I had some reservations. I didn't know what it was, and my buddy from high school, he owned a bar and was like, man, this is the best show out there.
Oh, yeah?
And when I saw it, I really thought, I went there to take photos and do video, and I caught myself, they talk about people that played against Michael Jordan, they'd start watching them.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, yeah, I'm taking photos. Okay, I gotta remember. These guys are so yeah, you get caught up in it. It's definitely worth the price of admission. I think it's the best show. I used to always tell people the best show was the touring production of Les Miserables. But after I saw Micro, man, it's got to be Micro Wrestling.
I'm telling you, man, it blows my mind.
And speaking of which, we're going to go to Micro.
We're back.
Jackson
We're back.
now. Here we go.
Watch.
Ozzy, thanks so much, buddy.
Thank you, Jason.
All right,
Get lost,
talk to you
losers.
soon.